Hi everybody, and welcome back to Hex Token Channel. Man, what a great day. We've had some news from Richard around PulseChain and Go.hex. So pretty exciting for the Hex staking. And also Richard's doing a live stream right now, so that's a lot of fun too. Make sure you don't miss out on that. Let's get straight into it, folks. Hex.com. Let's go. And of course, here we are, day 772. Hot off the press, folks, and the 12th of January. And we got a 24-hour price snapshot of 22.8 cents, and that's down just slightly at 0.7%. So it seems to have eased off with the expected sort of price pullback after the 5% PulseX price starts going up, and now it seems to be settling off there. So we're going to talk more about price in the price review. Let's move forward. A return on investment multiplier from all-time low, 5th of January 2020. It's 4,042x. That excludes the staking returns, of course. Payouts. Let's have a look at this. 6.017. Once again, over 6 again. Just a beautiful thing. If we go back 20 days, look at that. We have had a 6 as a start all the way back here since 755. And here we are at day 772. And if you're staking with T-shares, you're loving this. It is fantastic. T-share price 4,616, and T-share rate 229.6, up another 6.4. So just creeping up on everybody, and that's exciting to see from a staker point of view. Average stake length 6.08. Is the average years for people stake. Pretty incredible, and a lot of that has lifted with a lot of those big short stakes moving out and lifting the average there, as well as new stakers probably typically staking a bit longer there as well. Annual percentage yield rate, interest and early interstate penalties, 38.52% return, amazing. And a liquidity in the pool, 128 million. That's down from yesterday, so it looks like some liquidity has been pulled since the price is down just slightly. A liquidity pool 30.3 million, and the liquidity in the ETH is 1,575. Sorry, Ethereum. So look at the valuations of locked value, 13.81 billion, and market cap 131.71 billion, including the origin accounts. A T-share market cap 48.95 billion, and the number of T-shares up again today, 3 days in a row. T-shares have increased. It's 10,605,475. So nice to see some staking returning back here. Very, very cool. Total supply in Hex is 637 billion, up 8 million. That's the new inflation. It's at the market pretty low. As the crypto SPA book projections have shown, and actualities, we've actually had just over 1% inflation, which is pretty neat. That's probably slightly less if you take the origin accounts stuff out of it. So circulating supply 577 billion, down 68 million, so 3 days down, and the stakers are up. This is all very good, folks, very good indeed. All right, Hex stake supply 60.5 billion, and up 76 million on the staked. So you can see things are really looking good. So GA, let's have a look at that. Down slightly, it's still sitting over $1 billion there. Most of that is the origin account and good accounting. Percentage of stake coins 9.49%, and the payout 63.8 million. All deferred inflation, of course, all this line, and penalties 649,000. So thanks very much for that. As stakers, we appreciate it. Total holders 408,774, up 351. Current stakers 74,730, up 138. Now we definitely want to see these numbers rise. That's all about virality with the retail book. Very cool. Total stakers 94,982, up 153. Now we're expecting all this to lift with PulseChain and PulseX, of course. Current holders 276,016, and plus obviously all of the stuff that's happening in social media. That's the results for day 772, folks. Let's jump over to actual market price. So market price of X at the moment 22.75. So you know we had the little pullback. Let me push it back to the day. We're kind of moving sideways on the hourly there in a little range. Let's go back to the daily chart though. Pull this up. So yeah, we had a nice big pump before the last day, before the PulseX rate starts rising by 5%, and of course then we saw a bit of a sell-off after that, and now we're mulling around this area here as well. So between 22 cents and 24 cents perhaps as well. So today's low 22.2, high 23.2. So we're just waiting, just mulling around there. Meanwhile, the PulseX rate is starting to rise at 5% per day. So current day just finished $1.16, so we must be about $1.21 or something like that at the moment for 10,000 points. So that's what's happening there. Expecting this to rally at some stage, but they're going to let the gap between that and PulseX to separate. But then once it's going to rally at some stage before we get to the PulseChain here. So expected earliest launch period here. So, and here is the end of the PulseX sacrifice. So some stage it's going to have a nice little green rally here, potentially breaking all-time highs, and 70-80 cents is in my purview. Some people even calling it slightly higher, maybe towards the dollar. We'll definitely see whether those projections come true to fruition. But this is huge FOMO with the block and PulseChain. All right, let's jump over to the liquidity. We've got we've had quite a bit of shift in liquidity here. We're down, not typically we're around about 85-86% USD. Here we have moved to 17-18, about 82% USD. So down a few percentage points, and we can see that some liquidity seems to be being built as well. And what have we got here? T-shares. That lower liquidity typically allows the price to move up higher too, or down in some cases. T-share 4,600. That's moving pretty nicely at the moment, and of course that moves with the hex price and with the T-share rate, which is only ever going up. So even if the price moves around volatility, the share rate is moving up. I mean the T-share price underlying is moving up too. The adoption obviously is slowly ticking away up there. Pretty cool. Waiting for PulseChain to supercharge that and the virality. That's all the stuff that's happening in there. Payouts per T-share looking super good. As you say, look at this. It's absolutely amazing. Be a T-share stake is awesome. And we're going to look at the 15-year view here of all stakes. There's everybody's stakes, what we call global stakes coming out, maturing. And we're going to have a look at this front end, the first 6 months. And let's go have a check that out as we do. So here it is. So not too many big stakes coming out really. We've got 485 million here. I mean, these ones here, I mean, they're fairly decent, 300 and another 300 there, but this is the one. These are all been restaked from the end of last year. And we've got 460 on the first. So by the time we get out of the January now, we've still got 198,000 T-shares coming out, and then it really starts breaking up. Everyone can see that starting breaking up. This one here was also strategically reset here at 28th of February with 560 mil, but a big gap there before we get to the 9th of May. So really exciting for Hex, and we're going to start seeing that as we ramp through this year. It's going to be pretty cool. We'll always have some big, large OG Hex stakers, but it's really starting to break up and fractionalize. I love it. Of course, the big, huge PulseX sacrifice was fantastic too. Let's jump over to the Hex Whale. We had 23 hours ago, 1.3 million was bought on Uniswap version 3. Cool. Then 1.5 million was sold 19 hours ago, so 5 hours later. What else have we got going on here? We've got we had a big Hex sacrifice. Look at 5 million, and the rate was at 116 per 10,000 points. We had some end stakes here, early end stake. Look at that. It looks like they're probably either negative return ROI. So interesting stuff there. Looks like someone blitzed their stake for some reason. We had 1.3 million bought 16 hours ago. Another early end stake here with penalties. That's where we get our penalties from. Maybe they're just sacrificing this stuff. Who knows? As well for the PulseX, playing the PulseX game. All right, let's jump over to PulseChain, and this is where we get our big news, of course. Looking very cool. We're waiting for this, of course, the biggest airdrop in history, the biggest yield farming industry in crypto, and also super fast, super cheap fees and mass adoption with everybody coming over from yield farms to Ethereum. It's going to be amazing. All right, let's jump over to see how that's actually running in the GitLab with this software developers 8 hours ago. There's an update here in the testnet, so doing little things in there. Sometimes there's a lot of surface things, sometimes they're major files updates. So cool. Let's jump over to GitLab, and GitLab 3-second blocks looking good. Over 300,000 transactions now on the testnet, 302,873, just ticking away, pretty nice. Some of the blocks will have transactions. That one's got 2 transactions, and that one's got 2. So I think there probably has been a lot more transactions on here lately, so that's really positive. And of course, Richard tweeted out 12 hours ago, I've seen pictures of go.hex.com, which is the staking interface on Ethereum for Hex, working great on PulseChain.com. In other words, you'll be able to interact with PulseChain.com when we get our copies over. Everything's going to get copied over from Ethereum to PulseChain, and we'll get those double copies of for Hex stakes and Liquid Hex. It's going to be amazing. They're just adding the notices that it's testnet and not mainnet. Can't wait to make it public. So that was the big news today. That is the big news. Very cool. So things are moving along. We'll look at the timeline at the end and pull that all together. Let's have a look of what we're talking about here. This is go.hex interface for staking on Hex. So very, very cool. You can do your stakes, so your active stakes and stuff like that. Well, it's also going to be true on PulseChain. So nice. All right, let's jump over to PulseX. Look at the sacrifice. Let's do a little fresh update. We're going super duper well. What's this? 894.8, so basically 895 million US dollars. Add on another, say, 35 million for other chains. We're looking at 930 million now. Approximately, so 930 million USD sacrifice. Amazing. 23 hours and 26 minutes to go until it rolls over again. The current rate at the moment is $1.22 per 10,000 points, and you can see that on the bonding curve there, as you want to call it, or the sacrifice curve. Just only slightly going to get more expensive. So there we are. I think we're probably on the last day before it really starts getting expensive, if you ask me. Unless, of course, you get a massive rise in Hex price, then it's game on, right? Or something else that you might be holding that has a big rally that would be profitable for you too to sacrifice. All right, let's jump over to the PulseX.info. If you want to sacrifice, this is the website, PulseX.info. There's the official DApp to do sacrifice. Just follow the instructions very carefully, and you'll be perfectly fine. Most people are sacrificing this address on these chains. If you have other chains like Bitcoin and stuff, you need to follow instructions at the bottom. All right, let's jump over to Pulse Leads, because this is cool too. I love this website. Third-party website, of course, and but gives some great data. So we're going to quickly check this out. Yeah, so 894.8, very, very cool. Highlight 535 million for Hex so far on the ETH chain, and that's 2,080 million. That's all off the market on ETH chain and Pulse chain, so that's off the market. That reducing circulating supply. Very, very, very nice. So I estimate that this just quick off the book is probably around about 7.5% of the circulating supply. So it's pretty amazing. Anything like that is a major bullish sign. All right, so if you add up on PulseChain on top of that, then you're probably looking at 15-18% circulating supply has probably been eaten up on these two sacrifices alone. That's an incredible result. All right, so let us jump over to the time scale at the moment. This is the roadmap of the time. And of course, we're currently got two major events going on. We've got the PulseChain Testnet moving along, and let's see how many days we're in that now. We're going to scroll through to that. I think this is the right one. So 31, 31 days? Yeah, 31, 32 days there. I think we are on. Can't remember, my plane's in the road there. So yeah, so 32 days. We're 32 days in the PulseChain Testnet at the moment. We'll see how close we get to. We're waiting for PulseChain Testnet 3 to start up. That's this line here. We don't know when it's going to end or start exactly. We've just got placeholders. So the big news, of course, we've had the news about the bridge, and we saw that yesterday in Richard's tweet. We've already done the Uniswap front end some weeks ago. On testnet, so these are the ones that we're going to get MVP gradual release, Richard said, and this is what's happening. It's actually what's happening. It's a bridge. We've had a Uniswap front end, and today we got news about the go.hex site working on a PulseChain testnet and going to be made public soon too. So 3 out of 4 folks, looking very cool, and we haven't heard much about PulseX, of course, but I'm expecting more about that on a PulseChain testnet 3.0, and the reason for that is the AMM bot's going to be run at that time too on testnet 3.0, as well as PulseChain balances as well, updated on there. So nice. That's what's happening. The other thing, of course, is PulseX moving along, and so now we're up to $1.22 now for 10,000 points, and the volume multiplier will run all the way through to the end of the 20th there. So nice. So that's the key things there. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. Feel free to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, of course. Don't forget to catch Richard's live stream, and I will see you later today for PulseX Live, and that's where we have a lot of fun. PulseX Live, and talk everything about PulseX and a few other things as well. All right, hope you can enjoy that. Bye for now. Take care.